it's really important that you do your preparation and that everything is spotlessly clean. Alright, so we are ready to start priming the walls. I've cleaned up around all of these screws so it's all flat. You really want to do that because the last thing you want is one of these little buggers poking their heads up and causing you trouble when you're tiling. So they're all in. I've wiped down the walls, I've vacuumed them, I've vacuumed everything as clean as it can be, and we're ready to go. I'm using the Ardex system. I've got this shower tray, and in reality, hopefully, no water will ever touch this waterproofing. That's what I'm hoping to achieve, but it's just a bit of insurance so that if any water does get in, that it's not going to wreck the structure of the house. So you're not going to get into the framework, into the timber, and wreck stuff. So if water does get in here, it's not designed really to have water in there and to flow away because I've got a shower tray, so that it shouldn't see water. If it does, the water is not going to flow away down a drain because that's not how it's designed. So if there is water sitting there consistently and taking a long time to dry out, that won't re-emulsify the waterproofing system. Some others can re-emulsify. So you really need to know what you need for your application, and you need to pick the right waterproofing system for that application. Now, if I was doing tiled base in the shower and the waterproofing system was going to be integral, then I wouldn't be using a liquid membrane. I would be using a sheet membrane. A liquid membrane has its limitations. It has an age limit. I wouldn't muck around with a liquid membrane if that was the case, if I had my tiles in the shower, but that's not my case. So that's why I'm going for a liquid membrane. So first things first, you've got to follow the manufacturer's instructions on their product data sheet. You just do it. Like, yeah, it seems $22 for some primer. I've already got some primer, I'll just chuck that on. Like, it is, unless you know what you're doing and you know that, this is the same one as that, or it's the same active ingredient, unless you know that information, honestly, just do what the manufacturers tell you to do. Even though I've got to buy another different primer, even though I've got the thicker primer there. Now I've got to buy another one, $22. But what's $22 if all your tiles fall off using the wrong primer? You know, like, just, yeah, it's not that expensive, but it's important. So yeah, so I'm using the water-based primer, multi-primer. So that's what I'm using. Give it a shake as per the instructions. You can feel the difference. It's much smoother where I haven't done it. It's sort of rough where I have done it. That's good, it's doing something. Put this niche in now. Bought this, and I need to put some of this adhesive around the frame here, and then I'm going to fit that in as per the manufacturer's instructions. The picture doesn't really instill confidence, does it? get you back to do a little bit more, love?
This.
From underneath? Yep.
It's hard to get a good depth.
Yeah, that's good. And then we'll go like over here. And then can we do one down the end? Okay, that niche is in, finally. So an integral part of the waterproofing system is a water stop at the door, and it is included in the waterproofing system. From what I can tell, a water stop is just an aluminium angle like this one. But if you buy it from a waterproofing supplier, they call it a water stop, and if you buy it from somewhere else, you just call it an aluminium angle. That's what I can gauge. So that if you do get any leaks from your shower, that it's going to stop at the door and it's not going to come out and ruin all of my flooring out here. So I'll cut this piece and I'm just going to glue it down there. So I've sandpapered it to give it a bit of a rough up, so hopefully it'll stick. I'm using the same foaming adhesive, which is a pretty full-on adhesive. I think it'll be pretty good. So I'm just going to do a bead of it. Yeah. Oh, got a bit wonky there. Okay. Yep. Pretty good, I think. This will be a bit more complicated. Not too bad. Alright, I'm going to do the bit for the shower now. It's for that specific shower base, which is actually European. The plumber couldn't get in a leak control flange, which is what you would usually put in. We've just got this set up. So the way that I'm waterproofing it, it's not ideal. It's a bit of a workaround because of the setup that I've got. There's a shower base sitting on here, so the standards don't even specify that you have to have waterproofing underneath that shower base, but of course it has to be on the floor, so it sort of goes without saying that you should do that. Yeah, technically the shower base is considered as a unit, as a closed unit. So while this is not ideal, and this is not what I would be recommending with a normal leak control flange setup, but this is a bit of a workaround. So I am aware that this is not exactly ideal. Oh, bloody sniffed myself there. That's a dickhead thing to do, wasn't it? So technically with the Ardex system using the SB tape, I don't actually need to use a fillet or a bond breaker in the corners here. You can just apply the tape. However, I've got this tube of silicone anyway, so I don't think it'll do any harm. I wouldn't mind just having just a bit more support under that tape. So I'm going to just whip around and put some silicone in the corner where the wall meets the floor. It's really, you need that there if you don't have the tape and you're just using bandage with a membrane system, because you need to be able to get the membrane a consistent thickness, and the membrane does not turn corners well, so it needs to be working on a 45. You can't expect the membrane to, do a 90-degree angle. So yeah, if there's any movement in that joint for whatever reason, like we're on a slab, so we're not going to get much movement on the floor, but maybe the walls, a bit of movement in the walls, so it just gives it a bit of give there in the corners. Alright, so I've got this fillet gauge. When you're doing a fillet for internal wet areas, the fillet needs to be 6mm by 6mm, like that, and so it's 12mm from top to bottom. On the angle it's 12mm. So I've got this gauge here. See that? I don't know if you can see that. So 12mm there. So I'll hold it up there, that shows you how big the fillet should be. So see in here, this bit here, that's how big the fillet's got to be. Just remember, everywhere that you get silicone is where the membrane is not going to stick, because it won't stick to the silicone. That's the whole idea, that it won't be bound tight at the corners. It'll have a bit of give there. So just remember that. You don't want to put it in places where you don't want it. We're going to get started running the butyl tape around all of the junctions, covering up all these holes. That's what we're going to do. We start at the lowest point. So this is the lowest point here, and I've done that. And then we're going to work our way from the lowest up to the highest, so that it all overlaps to encourage the water to come down. Just peel off half the tape. Alright, just feeling better about that. It's a very critical junction there. It's going to leak. It's often going to leak in this corner here, so I think it looks pretty good. Okay, here we are at the water stop. So I've secured that in. I did that yesterday, so that's all dry, ready to go. Now I'm going to run my Ardex SB tape, and I'm just going to run it along here. So this water stop is actually going to be visible once the tiles are in, so that's how it's going to sit. Yeah, so I don't want to paint this at the top with the waterproofing liquid membrane, so I'm going to run the tape maybe just up just a little bit, but I've got to keep that clean. key part of my my whole waterproofing system. So I put this paintable sealant all around here. It was recommended by the multi-panel, so I've used multi-panel paintable sealant around here, but I've got this and I thought there's no harm in just putting a little bit more on around the edges just to give it a really nice seal. I've only got one chance to get it right, hey? So I'm just going to tape up around the edges of where the waterproofing is going to stop. So I'll just get the straight edge on it so that it's a nice clean straight line. This looks better. Alright, so now I've just got to seal up around these penetrations here. Yeah, so you don't want to get any waterproofing on the taps, because then the plumber's going to have to come along and wreck it, and then you know you're not necessarily going to get a good seal because they've got to do their work. So we don't want to get in the way of them doing their job. Okay, and these ones in the shower area are absolutely critical, but as you can see, the sheet membrane's got a pretty good hold on there. So I'm feeling pretty confident about these ones. Pretty good. We're all ready to put on our waterproofing membrane. Here we go. Gonna put the liquid membrane on. Things are going to get messy, I think. Look, I've already got shit on me. Do a little cut out here, and I'll show you why later. Alright, let's check our microns here. Just the microns, and you can see it's not even 300 microns thick yet, so gotta go pretty thick. Hard to get it that thick. Yeah, most waterproofing is too thin, not too thick. So it's pretty thick. Yeah, it's not paint. It's not paint, it's a waterproofing membrane. Alright, so in parts, so there's a little bit of blue on that one, which is 600. So we're going for 500, so that's pretty good. Right on 500. Look at that. Yeah, 500. Perfect. That's great. Awesome. Oh! See how full that is? Woo! quantity. Okay, do we for this way? That's why I use tape. Clean the top off because that's actually going to be visible. So, I'm not going to wash all this stuff. What I'm going to do, see that hole I made earlier? That's going to go in there. But that's going to go fully in, immersed. And so there's the little hole. And I'll be waiting for us when we're ready to do the second coat tomorrow. That's it. That's a wrap. Here we are for the second coat. So there is a bit of pinhole in here. I'll show you the pinholing before we can fix it up on the second coat or third coat if we have to. See that? All these little tiny holes. Yeah, it's where it was the original concrete. So here was where I did the self-leveling concrete. Oh baby, 300. I mean, honestly, I could not get it thicker than that. Look. Done my best. Time for a cup of tea, I think. Alright, so after the second coat, all those pinholes that were here have all been filled in. So I am going to do a third coat in this critical shower area. Just because when it went on, I just felt it was a bit thin. I found it really hard to get that 500 micron thickness. I'm just running some of that butyl tape just around the edge to connect the waterproofing from the wall to the shower base. We'll just check that it's hidden when the tile goes on. I think it'll be alright. And then I'll there'll be a bead along the bottom anyway, so you won't see that. Alright, I think we're good. I think we are good. Okie doke. It's looking a bit yucky in there. Ugh. Just mix it up a bit, I think. Alright, here we go. Let's get some waterproofing on this thing. Alrighty, I think that's it for now. I'll do a second coat later.